Hi guys, we're going to be a little ghetto today, but this is going to be the review session. So the first thing you need to do is go on to Roots Magic, either through apps.byu.edu or one that's pre-installed on your desktop. I'm going to use the apps.byu just because it's a little bit simpler. So the first thing you have to do when creating your family group sheet is to create a new file, or if you already have one, to open your existing file. So you typically name your file the last name of your family. I'm just going to name mine Test. And then so this is the correct date format, being day, month, year. And then you want display surnames in uppercase, LDS support, family search, family tree support, and match me to family search when hints are available. And then you hit OK. So this right here is going to be your first person. For mine, I'm going to be using Brutus Westmoreland. Okay, so now I'm going to input Brutus Young Westmoreland. Alright, and then his gender is a male. I know for a fact that he's not living, so just uncheck that box. And it's always good if we have one of these dates and to import them from Family Search. So I'm just going to import just the birth date, but you can import any of the dates you have from Family Search. So 24 May 1896. The place is Kings Creek, York County, South Carolina. And United States. So then once I got that, I'm just going to hit OK. And then I'm going to change it to the one that's the most correct in Roots Magic, because that one's the one I prefer. So you just hit OK. And then you go here and you notice so there's not a check mark next to this fact. For each fact on your family group sheet, you need to have a source, whether it be an interview, family tradition, family search, or an actual document. You need to have a source. So to attach a source, you just come over here to click on the fact, click over here on sources. If you have a family search source, it's super easy. So you just do freeform, hit OK. And then just for the footnote, we're going to come over here. I'm going to use a census record just because it will give a birth date and place. Not the most accurate, but we'll get the job done. So then here's the digitized version of the record. Here's the index, him and his family. There's the digitized record. If you click on it, you can actually see him a lot clearer. Down here at the bottom is the citation. So you just take this citation, you copy it, and then you just paste it into the footnotes section. Since I'm using apps.byu.edu, you can't actually paste into it. But that's how you do it. You just copy from Family Search if it's a record and paste it in here. I'm just going to do hi as a place filler. Then you hit OK. And then you want to name the source, what it is, and after the person, so that way you can identify it later. It was 1930 U.S. Census. And I'm just going to do the first name, Brutus. so that way I can find it later. Then you just hit OK. And then that's perfect, and you just hit close. So now when you go here, we got the green check mark, which means we're good to go. So then now what you do, you exit out of this screen, come over here to Brutus, click on him, then you click on family, and then right here, he's listed as a child because he's obviously someone's child. So you right click him, add their spouse, you would add a new person, and then you type in the information either from your preliminary survey, family search, or interviews. I'm just going to do a placeholder. And so you have to, for them to be recognized as a couple in Roots Magic, you have to have a date of marriage and a place. So the date can either be like an estimate, or if you have the exact year, or a year either from the interview or family search, you can import that. I'm just going to do about 20. And then the place, you're required to have a place, preferably the place from that family search list, or a place from an interview, or at the very least, you need to have at least the country. So I'm going to put USA, or United States of America, add marriage event, and now they are there. Now if you go back to family, it'll show Brutus as the father, his wife, and then you can add their children here. Make sure there's this button right here, and it makes all of the children by birth order, and that's what we want for the family group sheet. So now that you got that, the next step is to prepare, or list yourself as the preparer. So you would go to Tools, File Options, Prepare, and you need to fill out your name, your address, your phone or cell number, and your email. Website is optional. I personally just put my Facebook there, so that's the only website I personally manage. Once you have that, you hit OK. And then when you're all done with these, you would do reports, print a report, go over here and be family, and family group sheet, create report. So you want to make sure that you print LDS facts, even if you don't have any in there. It's important to have that one, and make sure the print prepare and comments is checked, because without the print prepare, we will take off points. Then you'll generate the report. And you'll notice here how his birth has a footnote source right here. That's good. We want one for each of your facts. But over here in the marriage, there is not one. So that's something you need to double check, is that each fact has a source. And then you would just go save as an Acrobat PDF. And then there you go. So I know there's confusion on what the research log needs to look like. So on Learning Suite, under the Contents tab, there's a blank research template. And I'm going to explain what goes in each of the columns. So the first thing you do is the date of each search. So it could be, so say you were to search for birth records, marriage records, and census records. That would be 3 separate searches, because you're searching for 3 separate types of records. So you have the date you did the search, the type of record. So it could be marriage, it could be census, death, birth records. Also, this is where you would include your interviews and your preliminary survey. And then your surname of the family. This is important, as any of the daughters will eventually get married and their last name will change. So that way you can distinguish which individual family you're working on. And this is the country. So in my case, United States. The state in which the record, if you found one, or you're searching for, or if you found it, is in Arkansas for me. The county is Carroll. And this call number is very important. So it's the if it's microfilmed, it's the FHL microfilm number, or it can be the GS film number. And if you're not working with microfilmed records, then this does not apply. You can just list NA as is right there. So to find the FH microfilm, You can go over here to your record and family search and scroll up. In this case, it doesn't have an FHL microfilm record, but has a GS film number. So you just take this number right here and copy it in. And then this source is just copy it from the source citation you put in Roots Magic. And then so your scope is what you're looking for and what exactly they did. So in this case, I was searching for index files for John Wesley Bunch. And then your results tab is what you found. So like marriage dates, birth dates, death dates, any information on new kids, and other things like that. Also, if you didn't find anything, you would just write nil search, which means no results. Then your hours log, that's where you just type in the number of hours you research that. So say you do 15 minutes, it'd be 0.25. And then this is important as this will calculate your total all the way at the bottom. And then just be sure to save this as an Excel sheet, and I will be able to take care of that for grading. For this assignment, you're also required to prepare a pedigree chart. There's a complicated way to do it in Roots Magic, or you can do it the simpler way in Family Search, which is what I prefer. So if you just go to Family Search, go to Tree, and go to Landscape, it'll pop it right here. So the requirements for this part of the assignment is to have the head of household, either the father or the mother of your family, to be connected to a living person. In my case, here's Brutus, and here is here is the genealogical line that leads into me. All you'd have to do is take a screenshot of this, save it in a Word document, and that would complete this aspect of this assignment. Next part of this assignment requires to have all of these to be submitted as a one single zipped folder. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So you just right click on your desktop, go down to New, go up to Folder, name it what you want. In this case, I'm just going to name it 1. And then this will represent my family group sheet. Just pop it in there. This will represent my research log. And this will represent my pedigree chart. So now once they're all in here, you'll highlight each of them, then right click, send to compressed zipped folder. And then right there, you can rename it to this assignment. And you click on it, and each of your files are in there, and then you just submit the zipped folder. If there's any questions, feel free to email me, and I hope this helps.